If you've been trying to regulate your nervous system and nothing seems to be working, I totally understand where you're at. I have tried somatic therapies, I have tried breath work, I've tried Reiki, I have tried therapy, psychiatric drugs, I have considered psychedelics. You know, I've done so many things to try to regulate, and yet I still feel like an absolute mess on many days. And there are things that I know that I'm missing on this list that I could include on this list. So many things that I've tried. And none of them have worked. And I still feel very imbalanced. I still feel like an exposed nerve. I still feel shaky. I still feel anxious. I still feel very unsafe. And this is key. So if you are exhausted from trying all these things and having no progress, I know exactly what you're going through. I really do. And there's one thing that I can guarantee you that you're missing that is causing this gap in your healing. And it's something that I was missing too, that I have figured out and I have seen, and now I cannot unsee it. And that's what I'm hoping for you. So you are most likely trying to regulate your nervous system coming from a place of not accepting the current state you're in. In other words, you're in a resistance mode of trying to fix yourself, trying to get rid of this, trying to free yourself of it. You may be angry about it, you may be frustrated, you may be emotional, all of these things. And I can relate to these things too. So we cannot come into using all of these beautiful tools that are out there with the mindset of fix me, I've got to fix me. The tools will not work when we do this. So, you know, if you're trying to make it stop because you feel like you're drowning, again, you're coming from that place of fear and resistance. So what we have to do is we have to come into this whole healing journey on this nervous system regulation by supporting ourselves and not trying to fix ourselves. And, you know, we can't use these tools. Meditation, for example, is a beautiful, beautiful healing tool that works when we use it right. We can't come in like we've got a fire extinguisher and we're trying to put out these fires within ourselves on the way that we're feeling, because again, we're just trying to fix. And the body will never regulate. Let me say that again. The body will never regulate if you're using these tools from this place of lack, fear, and resistance. The way that they're going to start working is when you make the shift of accepting where you are on this journey. And that may be, I am an absolute mess right now. I am a nervous, confused, scared little girl right now. It could be something like that. But the tools are going to start working when you accept where you are and you come into this from a place of compassion and supporting yourselves, supporting you in a most loving and gentle way. Okay? So when you accept where you are, when we accept where we are, we stop fighting. We stop fighting this war. We lay down the sword. We lay down the shield. We lay down the guns. We stop this internal war within us about what's wrong with us. But when we accept where we are and that this is just a part of life that we are going to get through, everything will shift. It really will. And you may be doing too much too fast also. This is going to require a slowing down. It's not that you need to use more tools and do more things and get on a stricter agenda. That's working against you. Slowing down and being in this present moment each day, one day at a time, is how we do this. We've got to get back to that essence of our soul where we can listen to the cues from our body and we can listen to the signs and signals from the universe. So it requires doing less with love and not more. So fix-it mode is not going to work, but acceptance mode is going to push us down the path. So let me tell you a little bit more about this as I shift my camera just a little bit. There we go. Okay, so we got to make peace with where we are. Let's make peace with it. So that doesn't mean I love where I am. That doesn't mean that at all, but it means that I'm willing to stop the fight and accept that, okay, I've got to do some things differently and I've got to slow down and help my nervous system to come down, okay? I've got to stop some of the habits that have been causing a lot of the stimulation. And I just want to mention what a few of those are. Probably the number one thing for most of us, honestly, is our phones. We are all so very dependent on our phones. We may be addicted to different things on our phones, but those phones constantly feed this stimulus to our minds. Social media is a big one. News apps, things like that are constantly feeding you this stimulus that is probably not healthy for you. So a really, really good place to start on this journey of slowing down is to limit your use of your phone and maybe have certain times per day where you actually, check your phone, stay up on your emails, which is important for those of us that work from home. But we cannot be a slave to these cell phones because the stimulus and the brain activity, it's just insane what this does to our nervous system. Many, many studies are being done about this right now, and it's just over the top on how people have started to feel because of this. So another thing that you can do is just start being a regular human again. Start doing some things like right now, sitting outside in nature, putting your bare feet on the ground. Start doing some things that really slow you down, okay? And start breathing and using your breath. You start using these practices a few minutes a day, and you're already starting a rewiring process. But again, you come into it all with acceptance and love and compassion for yourself, and be very, very gentle and easy with yourself through this process, and you will make leaps and bounds of progress as opposed to where you've been with all of these other strict routines you've been doing and all of these other classes you've been taking and all this strict meditation and breath work and all that. These things are wonderful, but they got to be used the right way. I'll say that again. So stop shaming yourself for where you are. Stop guilting yourself for where you are, because we're here. And whether we like it or not, we're exactly where we're supposed to be, because we're in a huge phase of evolution right now and growth. We're standing on a springboard right now that is about to launch us up and over into a whole different way of living. And so the part that happens right before that can be very difficult. It can feel extremely difficult, and it does. So your body will recalibrate. It will when you start to feel safe in it. When you start to feel safe. and that requires a slowing down. That requires hands over the hearts. That requires prayer, and that requires belief, full belief in better times are right around the corner for you. Remember how powerful your thinking is on this too. So I encourage you to try doing less to help regulate with all this love I'm talking about, and just be human and just try to enjoy your life. Simple things that you love, like cooking or painting or playing with your children or walking out in nature or listening to soft, gentle music, or any of these things that make your soul feel safe and at peace. Okay? So as we do these things, we are progressing much faster, even if it doesn't feel like it, than you can possibly imagine. I assure you. Thank you for being here. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you'd like to see more material like this. I'm here for you, and I'll catch you on my next video.